We have to step up and drop the ball here and there. So with that said, this is a great start. Falcon Esports 6-3. NIP Flash holding on for dear life, trying to get those skill enhancements on Curtizi, trying to make, I guess, ends meet for Diablo. Great decision on the handsome devil, El Guapo Diablo here, picking up the Fury Hammer casually. Because if you played this the usual, just run Hilda into your face way and just build full tank, the whole hostage situation would have been so much worse. So the fact that he's building some teeth on this XP lane sledgehammer makes more sense. Back into the action we go. Once more, about 3,000 gold ahead. Falcon Esports is. Check out Vanix picking up the Hasclaw.
Okay. So right now, NIP Flash, it's still safe to say that in terms of mid-game, they can actually, again, counterattack. We all know the power spike of Hades. When it comes to the Alpha, the third turtle, at the same time, when Curtizi is activated, they can disrupt, again, the dive composition of Falcon Esports with the Windblown paired up with the Windstorm.
And that is what NIP Flash are holding out for. One more turtle. I'm guessing with the delay in the first, this might be the count for the second/third turtle coming up about 30 seconds from now. Kid X holding this river brush. Vanix and Benny rotated out already. This fight's just waiting to happen.
Okay, now Kid X zones out Hades. JPL forcing them to back away. No major objective yet for Gods for Falcon Esports, and now they're just going to play the waiting game and wait for the neutral objective to respawn. Big
ticket item picked up. Curtizi, his first built item, the glowing wand, should make Kid X and Royal Milk's life a little more difficult. Diablo bullied out from his lane down bottom. Down a third of his health.
Yeah, up against the Hilda with the Phobius. You're bullying El Diablo, and even up against two, it's like you're unbothered. It does nothing to Royal Milk right now. Just enough for Falcon Esports to get the turtle, but the shutdown coming in from Curtizi to bring down Dax, and Diablo goes in for the kill. Unstoppable kill coming in from Royal Milk. But Diablo picks up the kill as well as Curtizi gets the turtle. Here comes the response coming in from NIP Flash. Windstorm just to try and keep Falcon Esports at bay, but here comes Benny and Royal Milk as well. Picks up another kill again for Falcon Esports.
Right in your face, Royal Milk running through NIP Flash. 6-0-2 on this Phobius, 6 minutes in.
JPL are all-star teams of Singapore.
A turtle apiece. Despite the delay, we will still see one more spawn in the upper quarter. A minute and a half about before this comes through. The final turtle. Are we still on schedule? For all the NIP Flash fans watching, can Hades still hit that power spike?
I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to take a longer time because, again, 0-3-1. And up against a Roger, in terms of farming speed, in terms of scaling up, you'd expect that Hades would have a much better time compared to Dax. That's why Roger is out of the meta. But right now, JPL goes in with the Ejector, countered down with the Eternal Guard. Glorious Pathway is there, but Kid X is the first man down. NIP Flash caught off guard there, but Falcon Esports has a response right away. NIP Flash manages to get Kid X.
A master stroke from the Emperor. The counter engage, throwing bodies underneath that turret. Despite there being an Eternal Guard, hey, nothing stings as much as an early game turret. That was a win for NIP Flash, closing the gap, keeping that lead up to just about a 2,000 gold distance. Falcon Esports, they gotta slow down, but I feel like that's not how they want to go, especially when you have a Roger. I don't think Dax is making the most of it. He's doing all right, but I think in his head, when they were planning this with the draft with Coach Nyocha, with Coach RC, they were expecting more.
Yeah, and you can really see the effect of Curtizi with the Veil. The game plan is working for them right now, especially for the last clash, because they were able to counteract the dive center again of Falcon Esports, and now starting things strong by taking control and hold of this turtle bit. Here comes Kid X with the Glorious Pathway, like an inch coming in from Dax, but still Hades gets the turtle, puts the Spear of Alpha connecting onto 3, forcing Kid X and the rest of the members of Falcon Esports to walk away.
Huge movements from NIP Flash, denying Royal Milk the late entry. Falcon Esports let go of their lead. Slowly but surely, just 1,000 ahead now. Here we go, another fight. JPL's in trouble.
Here comes Vanix though. Kid X, is he going to be able to take down JPL? JPL walks away safely. Now Falcon Esports, slowly their lead has been diminishing. For some point, it reached up to 3K. Now it's down to 1.6K.
Not enough of a hold. I can expect in the next couple of minutes, unless something changes drastically, Falcon Esports will lose this lead. Kid X dropping the Glorious Pathway, deterring the push coming in. In mid, check it out. Diablo underneath, defending against Royal Milk. No wave, no dice.
Okay, that was a good play coming in from Diablo. They don't want their mid lane turret to be exploded by Falcon Esports because again, it opens up the jungle of NIP Flash, and now they're going for more JPL with the ejector onto PX7, diminishing, deleting him off the mid lane. And here comes the clash. Falcon Esports trying to answer right back. And look at this, Royal Milk will get the kill. 3 kills, a double kill for Dax, and a kill for Royal Milk. And Benny still working on trying to bring down Diablo, but on the other hand, here comes the Glorious Pathway coming in from Kid X, just forcing Vanix to retreat, and the Death Sonata will bring down NIP Flash!
It's a wipeout! Falcon Esports is eating good, and they wiped out NIP Flash, converting into a turret in mid and in bottom. Dax was just waiting. Who let the dogs out?
Man, when you thought Falcon Esports was behind, again, their macro play was intact despite PX7 being the first man down with a beautiful play, mind you, by JPL with the ejector. They were still able to turn things around with proper timing, proper entries, and of course, Benny just dishing out the damage along with Dax.
PX7, an amazing threat magnet. He knows that NIP Flash needs to take him out. If they don't, then trouble could ensue. The fact that every single time he just is able to let go of the EG, I think that was key to making that wipeout play possible. Now with the Lord spawned, upper quarter, Hades playing footsies. In comes Kid X.
Glorious Pathway, Hades has to walk away with the Spear of Alpha, but Kid X just doing a good job keeping NIP Flash at bay, and all of a sudden JPL is gonna fall down. The next man might be Diablo, getting taken down by Royal Milk and Kid X, and the attempt of NIP Flash to try and contest for the Lord has now been foiled above Falcon Esports.
The Burmese are about to put the Lord on lock. Major wins for Falcon Esports in the past couple of minutes. Not to say that they heeded my word, but they suddenly turned it up to 11. They understood how urgent it is to keep a hold onto the mid-game power spikes. And here they are, almost 9,000 gold ahead. Royal Milk, look at the damage he's dealing, man. 40K, 707. All right, about 11 minutes in, he's gone past a kill and assist per minute.
Yeah, and just looking at the lineup of Falcon Esports, technically, you have 2 marksmen. Well, at least Dax is a fighter assassin, but still Royal Milk exceeds every single member hero in the Land of Dawn in terms of damage dealt. Just literally performing out of his mind in the trance right now. 707 for a Phobius.
Homie is in a state of flow. You could call him Flovius. Mid lane in trouble. Barrages, salvos, assaults thrown out by Benny. They break through. Top lane up next.
Kid X just doing a good job keeping NIP Flash at bay as the rest of the members works on bringing down 2 inhibitor turrets. They still have the Lord, but NIP Flash gonna make quick work of that. Now they're set their eyes on the bottom lane turret. No minions yet, but looking at the lead, that's a 10.2k gold lead for Falcon.
Surgical. Falcon Esports understand very clearly the stakes at hand. Around this time, we've seen over and over again in the Swiss, some teams would just let go. Some teams would drop the ball, but no, not Falcon Esports, not like this, not right now. In comes the Emperor!
Oh! JPL tried to dive in the Unstoppable Force, but Cortese, last attempt, and Vanix will bring down 2 members. Here comes Diablo on the chase, just trying to cut off the exit route, but Benny answers right back with a Rhapsody. A Death Sonata connecting onto 3. Vanix managed to stay alive. 3 members of NIP Flash left. It's going to be a 3-on-3, but Falcons, they have minions down bottom.
2 for 2 here. Down goes the final inhibitor. Benny picking up that Sky Piercer, making sure that no prisoners are taken. Falcon Esports will wipe out NIP Flash once more. That seems to be the only solution here. The way I'm seeing NIP play Flash, NIP Flash play is if anyone is left, I'm thinking Vanix, I'm thinking Kurt, a defense is possible.
Yeah, and I do agree with what you're saying. NIP Flash needs to play flashy. With Cortese leading the charge, we saw what can happen when the wind blow and windstorm connects. They just need to scale up to have more damage and try eventually to burst down the members of Falcon Esports. But it's still not impossible for NIP Flash to come back from this game.
They gotta make the most of the fact that Falcon Esports right now aren't building much magic defense. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. It's mostly just tough boots that's keeping them safe from Cortese's CC and damage. So if Kurt somehow just finds the perfect moment, if he's able to channel his World Championship genes once more, ladies and gentlemen, the only player left in M6 to go for that double World Championship run, then maybe NIP Flash can take this from underneath Falcon Esports' nose. 9,000 gold ahead, lower quarter of the map, that's where the Lord spawned. Hades going for the dance.
Okay, Internal God already casted JPL. Just giving vision here for NIP Flash. No commitments yet for both of these teams. Looking at Diablo, he has control over the mid brush. Gonna get vision again for NIP Flash.
Hades holding on to that pixel brush. Diablo pushing back. JPL holding that river brush. In comes Kid X. There's a throw.
Oh, the unstoppable force got stopped, but NIP Flash manages to bring down Dax as well. Kill spree coming in from Betty, forcing Falcon Esports to retreat. Here comes Vanix and a shutdown from Kurt.
NIP Flash off. That's not gonna stop NIP Flash. Benny going for the back here, looking for that segue play. It's just him and Kurt.
Okay.
Kurt and him. Can he do this?
Can't forget Kurt TC. One of the most mechanical gifted players. Manages to flicker out. That Sonata will not connect as Benny works on clearing out the minions, forcing NIP Flash to react. PX7, one more hit, and Diablo says no and goodbye. NIP Flash, it looks like they're back on track.
I'm still here, amigo, says Diablo, despite having a tough 15-minute game. Keeps PX7 honest. The Lord's still standing. And despite all that, the push and pull, the back and forth through the map, coast to coast, Falcon Esports just checks in and says, hey, Lord's still here. Let's take it slow. They've lost the lead, Ingan. 4.5K left, 15 minutes in.
It reached up to 11K. No inhibitor turns for NIP Flash. But one thing is for sure, they still have their determination to come back from this game. And Jackthor gonna bring down Kinex despite the revitalize. He might fall down, but in exchange for JPL, body slowly falling down. Royal Milk in the trap once again. A shutdown for Diablo. Betty's gonna fall down. The next target is Royal Milk. Cartesian with a windstorm to bring him down. Diablo once again with a double kill.
Another massive win for NIP Flash. 3 for 2. The numbers don't add up for Falcon Esports. They're losing even more of the lead. They're down to 2,000. And Dax and PX7 are on damage control. They're just making sure the waves don't crash back. They're making sure that there's not much of a backlash on the map for Macro to come get them in the behind. NIP Flash gonna score a Lord.
Oh.
No, not possible. Falcon Esports blitzed it.
They blitzed it. Because again, Hades wasn't in the picture, so there was no reason for NIP Flash to go in for the Lord. Fortunately for Falcon Esports, they got another major objective. But it seems like NIP Flash is ready to defend this. They're ready to trade for this. As long as they're 5-man strong, they can do this. And again, looking at the time, it's 16 minutes. Husky has been telling us that when it reaches this point, the Bruno is going to be activated.
Loki, that's why I was expecting NIP Flash to just have Vanix throw a worldie in there and have one crit steal it away. But Dax, all the more locked in, takes it for Falcon Esports. The first Lord of the game. Second, this time marching through mid. It took a while for them to score that second one.
Yeah, it took a while, took a lot of skills, took a lot of bodies. Kill scoreboard, 26-16. Lord sieging in the mid lane.
Check Diablo in the back. Dax on that man-to-man defense. Glorious Pathway dropped by Kid X.
Unstoppable Force got stopped. They're going to make quick work of the Lord. Royal Mick just trying to go for the crystal damage. PX7 will fall down. Job now working on the backline onto Benny. That's Sonata is not going to connect. Hades is going to fall down once again, but NIP Flash still has 4 members strong. Here comes Royal Milk with the Infernal Pursuit. Vanix with the last effort wind of nature, but Falcon Esports will lock down on the turret!
The Roger puts in the final clause to score game 1 for Falcon Esports. Dax bringing back an old favorite.
First game of the knockouts. Didn't go into Flash, but for sure was hella fun, hella exciting. These two teams are in it for a treat. We might see Leo a best of 3, a game 3.
I just can't get over the fact that the meta is still evolving. Mere minutes into game 1 of the knockouts. I'm excited to hear what our analysts think about that, Roger, because even I was 50-50 on it. Ranbir Santa Cruz, Husky and Gideon, talk to us.
Woo, what a start. We thought it'd be Falcon Esports heavy, but at the end of the day, that Phobius pick that we doubted, it made the Mer Lions drown in milk, in Royal Milk. It spiked up so fast and was just the problem for NIP Flash the entire game.
Yeah, it really boiled down to Falcon just snowballing out of control way too early that it put NIP Flash on the back foot the entire game, because we saw when Falcon had a 10k goal lead, NIP Flash had no inhibitors at a lore fight. NIP Flash could actually put up a fight And only if they were not that far behind, I think this would have been a closer one. But still, props to Falcon for getting that lead in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that NIP Flash, the early mid-game played terribly at this point, right? Because again, a lot of macro decision-making was kind of strange. Like at a certain point, when do you stray away from the game plan? It looked like their early game plan was to make sure that this Hylos wasn't strong enough to scale into that mid-game to be that frontline tank that Falcons really need and will have to only depend on the utility from the Glorious Pathway. Second problem that I did see, NIP Flash, unfortunately, when it came down to quote-unquote scaling, once that early game is gone, sacrifice the Kurt, unless you have the right items, then it's not going to drag on. That could have ended had Kurt not missed.
That Veil, I feel like it's a revelation. We saw it in the SRG game. We saw it here again. At one point of the game, it just becomes a big -1, an instant -1 with a full combo coming out from the mid laner of NIP Flash. And they fought back with good pickoffs. And I think Falcon Esports were just surprised by the sheer raw output of a Veil that once Kidex goes down or Royal Milk goes down, you see their formation crumble.
Yeah, it reaches a point where it really doesn't matter who Kurt catches as long as it's one of the big three, right? Either PX7, Dex, or Banny. You get caught in the knockup, you just disappear. Like, it's either a -1 for FCon or a -1 for NIP Flash if those ability misses, which is sort of what we saw in that end game. But overall, I have to agree with Gideon. I think that the macro decision in the early to mid, that I personally willing to let it go, but NIP Flash just kept banging their heads into the wall.
Yeah, it's about understanding what the trade-off is. Whether it be gold, EXP, or neutral objectives, you need to be able to get something back, especially with a composition that's so heavy on the economy. People like Curtin as well as Vanix don't come online until they have about 3 items, unless you get like that very early start. But the only person who can technically do that would be Vanix, and they were hoping that Diablo could kind of supplement them. Oh, if Cortese gets a full combo, especially when he hits level 4, they'll be put very, very low, so we need Diablo to kind of shred them down, maybe even Hades, but his job is too difficult. At this point, I think that Falcons understood if we can stop Hades early, we can eliminate Diablo from these fights, we should be able to dominate the early game, but from that point onwards, we need to